Oh, right here, I'm Appa again. Today we'll be playing Vintage Cube. Vintage Cube is basically the quintessential cube experience here in Magic Online. It's awesome. There are almost all the busted cards except just a few, and the play experience is pretty great. It's pretty well curated actually. I think it's very well built. Taking into account that it has power 9, there are always ways of playing even without power, and just having uh, a good plan can just be better than having a lot of fast mana and time walks. So yeah, I really enjoy it. So I'm going to be playing that. So yeah, let's see what we open now. My computer is going a bit slowly here. I'm going to put like that. Okay, so here we have nothing too special. We have Thalia if we want to go for mono white, which I'll be honest, I love mono white in this queue. I think it's pretty strong. We have Thin Skydiver, which is a great blue card. This card is amazing in this queue. There is like Mesmeric Thing, which is pretty strong, Liliana, which is pretty strong. Izzet Signet is probably the best signet. Is ramping the colors that don't have ramp, and Ponder is always strong. So we're basically between 1, 2, 3, and 4 in my opinion, because I want to have a plan from the get-go, and I think blue is the best archetype, so you want to always be open to play that. So yeah, I think I'm going to go for the Thieving Skydiver and see where we go. If we will the Thalia, then I'm going to get that as a strong signal to get into white, and I'm going to switch gears pretty quickly into that. But Skydiver is a great first pick. It's just super strong. I know it may look like something that you want to have like access in the sideboard instead of the main deck, but it's actually pretty good in the main deck because almost all decks have some form of artifacts, and even if they don't, it's a 2/1 flyer for 2, which is okay. Here we have the strongest card may be Rofellos, but I don't like green. I don't think it's a great archetype here, and it's very overdrafted, so normally it's not very open, and you go into that and then find out that you have like a couple of mana dorks and mid-range creatures and end up being like a mess. I think Prismatic Vista, we are always going to be playing this card. It's one of the better, well, maybe not one of the better fetch lands, but first picking or second picking this is very strong because we are always going to be playing this. Almost always, unless we end up monocolor. Okay, so here we have a couple of options. Actually, we have Fire Extra Revolker, which I love. I think it's pretty strong in this cube. Again, this doesn't really look that much, but this can shut down mana abilities, so you can just play it and then learn what else and be basically a 2/1 that eats 1 mana from the opponent, which is pretty strong, given that it's also just a 2/1 for 2, which is okay, not amazing, but since it has other applications, it's pretty great. Additionally, you can choose name like Oko, and yeah, it's one of the few ways of stopping those kind of cards. Here we have Force of Negation, Fire Ice, and I think Revoker are the 3 cards that I'm interested in taking here. There are a couple of mid-range white creatures which I don't love. I think these are maybe mid-range. Repetition is mostly for Storm. Lotus Cover is fine. It's one of the better mana doors if you are not mono green. I like Force of Negation. I think having free interaction is pretty great, and 3 mana negate is always useful. Here I think I like either Necromancy, Dynamo, or Tundra. I don't really love Control Magic, but I would take it to force basically blue, which is an option. I don't think Control Magic is amazing in this queue. It's good, but I'm not always like super interested in that. I think I'm more interested in Tundra. It's either that or Dynamo, but Dynamo is more for a different kind of deck. One where you are trying to hardcast small Eldrazi, or maybe playing like 7 drops on turn 5, something like that. Here I think we are more of either blue-white tempo or blue-black mid-range. Blue-white tempo is one of the better archetypes if you can pull it off. Okay, so here we have like Stoneforge Mystic, which works pretty well in that kind of strategy because it's a one card kind of combo in which you play this and then equip it with the thing you search for, and then you have a formidable attacker which only costs 2 mana, and for 2 mana you start getting value. So even if they remove the creature, then you have the equipment. We saw Battle School, which may will, and yeah, we're not passing anything super great. We could also pick Rubble Master instead, but normally white is super open, so I'm going to go for that. I think pairing blue, which is kind of the strongest archetype or the strongest color in the cube, which with the color that's more open normally, I think it's a great combination. Here, I think I like Sword of Fire Ice is the better sword. Normally it's not that great because it's basically a 5-drop, even though it doesn't look like it. But in this situation, at least, we have the Stoneforge Mystic to pair with, so this makes Stoneforge Mystic be amazing. It's either that or Absent, which I really love Absent. I think it's pretty strong, but I think I'm leaning towards the sword. Let's see how that works for us. Now we have, okay, Constant Judgment is a great removal spell. It can take care of anything. It's pretty good. Brimas is a bit slow for a threat. I think I prefer cheaper threats. And Constant Judgment can also be a good way of backdooring into blue-white control. Let's see what we open now. High Tide, no thanks. Expansion Explosion might be useful, but I think I'm going to pick the Eidolon. Eidolon is one of those cards that are either okay in the sideboard, right? Some decks play a lot of Planeswalkers and just taxing them is useful, and other decks just can't really deal with a 2-1 first striker, like Mono Red, for example. So it's actually useful against several decks. It's a role player. It's not something amazing, but it's okay. Then we have Colonnade and Vanishing Light. In this situation, I think I'm going to pick the Colonnade. I really have Constant Judgment, and yeah, white has great removal spells, so having good mana is very important in my opinion. Here we have Mind's Desire, Emeria's Call, and Self's Spirit. This one is a bit of a thinker. I'm not sure what I want here. I mean, Mind's Desire is not something I want, of course. Doesn't really work with my plan. Maybe things if we end up in Tinker, but we don't know for sure that we are going to. So I think I'm going to pick the Spirits. I think we might end up in mono whites. Yeah, both white creatures wield, so we have access to either Avacyn or Lyra. I don't know exactly which one is better. I think this is better in mono white against Wraths and all that, but Lyra is just good on its own. Here we can either have Parallax Wave, which is a good way of removing threats, or Sun Titan. I think I like Sun Titan. Yeah, it's a bit expensive, but something that we might be using. Here we can either pick a clunky removal spell or a card that has a lot of upside, so I'm going to pick the card that has a lot of upside. Yeah, a couple of chunkers that I don't care about. So Minor Conjecture, I don't think I'm playing it right now, but it's something we might want to play it. So I'm going to have it in the sideboard for now. Here we have Oko, which is a great card. Resto Angel, which is a great card also. Of course, Oko is the strongest card of the bunch. Vendilion Clique is also useful. I think this deck is more of a Vendilion Clique than an Oko deck. But I really have the Vista, so I really have a way of fixing for this, and Oko is just so strong. So strong, it's just amazing. I'm going to pick it. Sorry, Vendilion Clique, I would love to have you, but I can't. Here we have either Elspeth, Conquer's Death, Shark's Typhoon. I'm not going to be splashing Fallen Shinobi in this deck, I don't think. too many splashes. Condemn is good for white control mostly. So in my opinion, it's between Shark Typhoon and Elspeth. I already have to open, so Shark Typhoon is a good way of just cycling, not dying, and having something that can just trade with our opponent's creature and instant speed. Here we have Prime Time. Tomb Savannah doesn't really help us that much. Maybe Savannah for Oko. Then we have Narset. Let me see. Narset does do anything? Not really. Fetches Oko, for example. Sword. Yeah. No, I think I'm going to go for Savannah. If we find any white fetch land, then we are going to be golden. Oh, I think I passed Ajit. I actually didn't realize until I clicked the Savannah. Sorry. In my defense, I think I will still pick Savannah. I already have a sword. We don't need like 4 swords or anything. But it might be something that I would want to check. So here is Pester Might or Silver Blade Paladin, in my opinion. Maybe Elspeth. Elspeth feels a curve here. Gives our creatures flying. For example, an elk or a Stoneforge or something like that. But maybe Pester Might. Pester Might might be useful to double spell, for example. Trigon, I could play it in the wheel. I think I like Pester Might. It's a flash threat. We already have Shark Typhoon. We have Force, so yeah, okay. It auto-picked it. Containment Priest, the Fairy. I think the Fairy is great. So we are ending up in a mixture of tempo and aggro. So it's going to be like blue-white tempo, as I said before. I'm really trying to put more weight into blue cards for force. And I think the Fairy is great. Like, for example, your opponent just 2-for-1s themselves to reanimate something, then you play a Teferi and bounce it, and they are like super far behind. Here we could pick either Steering Whitewood, so we are super happy with our mana for Oko, or Factor Fiction. Let me check. We don't have any card draw except Sword, for example, so I think I'm going to pick Factor Fiction. Yeah, it's kind of not a great Factor Fiction deck, but it's good card draw. Here, Gideon, I don't remember exactly what this does. Oh yeah, it enters with 8 loyalty basically, can blow up tapped creatures and can transform into a 6/6. It's a great threat. The other option is a Baneslayer. I don't think I need a Baneslayer and a Lighter. I will also pick Day Judgments and just go into Control. I think that's a good idea. Let's see how this goes. So we have Thada, Flicker Wisp, and Serpent. We don't have a lot of mana, so Serpent I don't really like. Thada might be useful. Island Walk is good, and some decks play a lot of artifacts, so stealing their win condition, for example, might be just good enough. I'm going to pick it, put it in the sale for now. If we end up short on playables, I'm going to play it. Here, there's nothing super great. Maybe Knight, if we end up with something we want to tutor for. I mean, I'm not going to be main decking any of these. Maybe Varrock. Varrock is splashable. But I don't really love it. It's like a creature factory of sorts. I'm going to pick the Knight, speculate on this. Wow, that's super light for a Fallen Shinobi, but I'm going to pick the Condemn. Just going into the band control route. Here I could pick Crossbow. Titan is not really splashable, and Thratask is a good cyborg option, so I might just pick that. Here, I think Trigon is better. Again, I might not put this in the main deck, but something that I might consider. Here I will pick the Stomping Ground, we never know. And yeah. So Yeah, Tracker might be in the main deck, actually. So right now we have like kind of a weird deck, but we can just... We need more counterspells if we want to go for the blue-white control route. Basically, that's the biggest issue now. Because what I want to do here in this deck is either start removing creatures and put more emphasis on spells, but I don't really have that option right now. So Misty is great, fetches all of our colors, and I think I'm going to go for that. We can also pick Coalition Relic, but we all have a lot of 3-drops, so it's not on its prime. Time Warp, it's okay. Thassa's Oracle doesn't really do much for us. I'm going to pick the Misty, and this is a 3-color land for us. Mana Drain is amazing. It's exactly what I wanted, actually. I wanted cheap interaction, and this is great. Yeah, I'm going to pick this, hoping to wheel like maybe Razorbash Ticket or Sanctum. Yeah, or even Student of Warfare might be useful. Let's just open more counterspells, shall we? That would be awesome. Counterspell? Nice. We have either Counterspell, Mana Tithe, which is pretty great but not better than Counterspell. Looter is a good way of just hitting with evasion if we need to, but I'm not going to pass a Counterspell. No. We have good mana, so I don't really mind that. Wow, that's a super late channel. The player that's going to open that is going to be super happy. Here, I think it's either Frost Titan or Power Stone. Yeah, this is not a Power Stone deck. I could even play Walking Ballista. The thing is, if you don't have acceleration, which we don't, then this is like super slow, like not great. You can say the same thing for Frost Titan, but at least this kind of is very impactful. So I think this is a Swords deck. I will lose with Heath, but we already have good mana, and Swords is really what we need. Just really good, cheap interaction is what we want, because we don't have acceleration, so we need to be efficient with our spells. We can't just play all 6 drops. So we have 21 playables. Oh, okay, so it's either Arid Mesa. We have 1, 2, 3, probably 4 sources of green for 2 spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would love Arid Mesa, it fixes all of our colors. Winds of Abandon is great. Hero is a good win condition. I think I'm going to pick the Arid Mesa, mostly because one of these two is going to probably wheel. Right, so now we have Muldrifter, Repeal. I love Repeal. Season Hollowblade is defendable, but not really. We already have 2 cheap interaction spells, so I don't need to pick Oust super early. I like Repeal because it can answer anything, and it's an instant speed interaction spell, so we can hold up like Mana Drain, Counterspell, Swords, and if nothing happens, then we just Repeal or Shark Typhoon, you know. Tithe Taker is fine. Land tax can be useful too if we have ways of looting them, which we don't, I don't think. It's useful with Tracker too, but I think I like the cheap threat. Probably changing Eidolon for this. Disenchant is great. I'm going to put that in the sideboard. So here we have a Thicket. We also have the Bodyguard, but I don't really understand why this is here, if I'm being perfectly honest. The Thicket fixes our mana pretty well. Rebel Arc, I don't know. maybe. Here we have Lingering Souls. Yeah, I mean, we don't have other options. Just Landing or Nisa. Let's see, Nisa. Oh man, come on. Yeah. No, I think I'm going to pick Legion's Landing. Yeah, Wings of London is great for us. Okay, so I think rounding up this deck, we ended up having enough playables to make a solid deck, to make some cuts even, and just decide on the better options for our deck. We have not that many creatures. Oh, Super Library, that's big. That's maybe useful. Green was actually open this time, but we didn't know. So you have a couple of good disenchants in the sideboard, like Trigon Predator, Disenchant. So those are useful. Let me check how many cuts do we need to make. Okay, just a couple. So I like cheap interaction here. Factor Fiction is great. Tracker is just a good value engine. We have Force and 2 counter spells for interaction for counter magic, and then we have like Condemned Swords and Winds and Councils and Day of Judgment. So we actually have a lot. And then check like this. I like to put all the proactive plays in one place and all the reactive plays in the other place, right? So we see our curve, you know. So right now we have maybe too many high drops, so I think I might cut either Sun Titan or Frost Titan. So Sun Titan can reanimate like Oko, Teferi, Tracker, Pestermite, so all of these, which are all good cards. Frost Titan is just a good threat. I'm going to maybe do it like this. I like having a cheaper threat here. Yes, it can just die to a Doomblade, but if it doesn't, it can help us stabilize pretty greatly. Factor Fiction is a necessary evil. We don't have any card draw spells, so we need that. We have Tracker 2. And yeah, I think we might just remove either the Eidolon, the Spirits, or the Tithe Taker. Let me see. I like Spirits, I like Eidolon, and I like Tithe Taker. Tithe Taker is a good way of forcing the opponent to keep more mana up in our turn, which means that they are normally pinholed into playing more in their turn, which helps us to counter and repeal and Shark Typhoon and all that. So if we are playing that card, we are basically saying we are going to be playing on your turn, which is a good thing. Yeah, let me check the Myriad Conjecture. We need instants and sorceries. We have sorcery here, instant, sorcery, instant, sorcery. So we have a good mixture, but yeah, we have too many counter spells and all that, so Mirari is going to be a bit not that good. Because copying counterspell doesn't really do much, you know? Or Council's Judgment is like, yeah, it's not that great. It's not like copying Time Warp or something. So maybe it's Legion's Landing. We're not going to be flipping it anytime soon. I think that makes sense. Something like this. Sure. I like this. And yeah, so Sword is kind of weird, but we have a couple of creatures in the early game. Like literally 5, 6, 7 creatures. Oko also puts a creature. Shark Typhoon is also can be cheap, like you can play it on the 3-drop slot. So Sword is going to be okay. Then the other cards that I would play are all these here. Even Disenchant I will play. Vision's Landing I don't really like it here because we are not that aggressive, so flipping this isn't a given. So what we are going to be doing is, well, maybe I can just sideboard Eye of Judgment. Yeah, I like that idea because we already have a lot of creatures. So maybe sideboard that and play something else in the main deck. I'm thinking Thada, mostly because it's a blue card for force, and it's a threat for sword and to our tempo spells and tempo plays and all that. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. Let's test it. If we don't like it, we can just remove it. Here, let's check how many colors we have. We need to add at least one basic of each, that's for sure, for Prismatic Vista. So yeah, let's check that. So we have one forest here, one Vista, one rainforest, one thickets. Arid Mesa can fetch Savannah. So we have 6 green sources, which is more than enough for 2 spells, so I'm going to keep that. Then let's check blue sources. Mesa can fetch Tundra. Thicket doesn't work. Misty do and this does. 6, yeah. And then for white we have this, and these 2. So 8. Yeah, I like it. So we're going to have like, yeah, 3 is kind of fine. We're going to have like 11 white, right? And 9 blue. Yeah, so 9, 11, and 6. Maybe 10, 10 because we have double blow here. Yeah, I'm going to do that actually. Yeah. Oh, we have one extra, so yeah. Now we are fine. Let's just sort this by converting mana cost. Check that we have 17 lands and all that. Combine groups. Okay, so we have this. We can sideboard a couple more green cards like Sylvan Library, Trigon. Yeah, we have a couple of good options post board, so I'm happy with this deck. It's not like the most busted deck that I've ever drafted, but it's reasonable. We don't have like a lot of bad cards, so I'm happy with that. So at first I didn't actually really liked Pestermite, but with time I found out that maybe just tapping a monolith, for example, can be very useful. Tapping an attacker is super important because the biggest issue or the most important lesson from this cube is that tempo is very important. It's maybe more important tempo than card advantage. So it's pretty important to tap something sometimes, and maybe just tapping a blocker playing an attacker can just be like putting the opponent in the back foot, so much so that it makes them have less outs to your board, for example. So yeah, I think I like it. Alrighty, let's go to the first match and check that I'm recording. Yep, awesome. Oh, sorry. Okay. I was pretty scared there. So this hand has chip interaction, Shark Typhoon to kind of churn through our deck. I like it. It's not great, but we have a plan. Our opponent mulligant. Okay, keeps 6 on the play. Kithian. I might just source it right away. I might also just wait, because we can also just block it with Shark Typhoon. But that costs us 3 mana. I think I'm going to play the Thicket. If they want to remove the Thicket with land, for example, we can just in response kill it and not fall too far behind. If we can resolve this Lyra and they don't have removal, we're going to be in a good spot. Okay, they have priority. I don't know if they know about that. Okay. Let's give the opponents some time to ponder their decisions before passing the turn. Okay, you can start passing the turn if you want, opponents. Do I have internet? Should, right? Yeah. Don't know what's happening. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Good job, opponents. Good job. I'm proud of you. Stoneforge. Nice. Yeah, that doesn't really change my plans. Well, it kind of does. I don't mind trading my Stoneforge for the Kithian, so I'm not interested in sorting swords to plowshares the Kithian. If they play Athalia, okay, that's fine. I'm going to probably kill that just to not fall too far behind. Yeah, kind of see it. Yep. See what we draw now. Arid Mesa, so we can find like a duel. I don't really need that right now. Just play the Mystic, search for the sword, value. Next turn we can cycle Shark Typhoon. If they play and land an attack, I'm not going to block because they can make it indestructible. Oh, they Council Judgment my Stoneforge. Okay. They have to attack with 3 creatures, basically. And it transforms into a 4/4, basically. Okay, I could play the Sofa Spirit, but I like just holding up Shark Typhoon. I'm going to start fetching because I don't want to draw more lands. We have already 5, that's good enough. Splicer, sure. They should have first attacked, because now I can do this cycle here and just trade the shark with Kithian. And they could have just not do this first. I mean, it's very simple. So now we can play like sword or the spirits. Skydiver, I can take this. Yeah, wow, awesome. Yep, let's do that then. I need to pay X1 to steal the golem. Yep. Nice. Next turn we can go for Lyra or Sword Equip. Probably Sword Equip, sorry, because they might have more removal. Time Walk, okay. It's not that bad, I mean, it's basically just a ritual and a card draw spell. I mean, it's great, of course, but I've seen worse things. They don't have any more cards in hand, which is amazing. So they don't have any more cards, right? So I can go for Lyra pretty well, or I can just go for Sword Attack and Shock like the Splicer or the Taker. Probably the splicer, so they don't have the... Yeah, I think I like that more. We also draw a card, which is pretty awesome. These fly, so they can't really block. Yeah, I'm going to blow up the splicer because if they draw like a sword and they equip to the flyer, then I'm in trouble for no reason. What's this? Okay, I was just double checking because swords is not a card I normally use. I mean, sort of fire knights, this cycle of swords. So yeah, if they attack and blocking, I don't think they will, but okay, they play the land right away. Again, not optimal. Yeah, now I can just attack, play the Lyra and be fine with that. But first, just let's draw a card. Yeah, this sword is really owning them. Okay, Teferi is better because we can play like Teferi bounce the spirit. Yeah. Fourth, spirit. I'm going to play the spirit. Just make sure we don't die to a random wrath we might have. Okay, nice. That went really well for us. Mostly because they misplayed, but yeah, whatever. So, let me see, they didn't really play any artifacts. No, so I don't really care about Disenchant or Trigon. Maybe Trigon is fine because it's a 2-3 flyer, you know. I like Day of Judgment, I like Elder Garderoth, but it's a bit difficult to cast, so I'm not going to be playing that. Thragtusk is also okay, but most of the removal is Exile. Oh, this leaves the battlefield. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I like these two. Maybe we go into a more controlling archetype, like remove Thada because it doesn't do anything, and remove like maybe Social Spirits. Eidolon can be useful against their Planeswalkers if they have any. Do we have anything that we don't want to have? Like Condemn is great against them. Force of Negation might be a bit not that useful. Maybe I play like the Spirit instead, just to trade with them. Maybe Lingering Souls is better, right? We play 2 1/1s. We can play like a Swamp to fetch with Vista. No, I don't really like that plan. It's maybe... Yeah, one of these cards are great. Probably I like Subtle Spirits. Yeah, it's fine. It's just fine. You can just trade with something. Even if they have removal, if they have to spend a removal spell on that, then we are fine. Yeah, this hand is great. I mean, we can just reveal something, maybe a token, condemn something else. So yeah, I'm going to lead on island. So if they go for a token, we can reveal it, like Vision's Landing or something like that. Because revealing a token is so strong. Adanto, okay. That's great, we have the condemn for that. Stoneforge. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Stoneforge. Then we can keep the activation of Stoneforge plus interaction in Condemn and Reveal, which is great. It's a great sequence. If they have removal for the Stoneforge, they might use it. So if they play a Blaze Placer, we can steal the token again. I think I would do that. Yeah, they attack for sure. We take 3. things. Okay, that's not that great against us. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Oko. Oko is pretty stupidly good here, but I think I like just keeping my options open. Yeah, I'm going to play Island Pass. We don't have like counterspell, but we have repeal, which is pretty close to counterspell, and condemn. We can just condemn the Adanto if we feel. Maybe I should have played Misty so I could condemn and activate Stoneforge. Yeah, probably that's was better. Am I condemning something here? I might just block the vanguards. They pay, then I reveal it or condemn it. Or I can just condemn the kitchen things now. Make sure I don't take a million damage. And sure, let's just take 3. I should have played the Misty, that was my bad. Didn't really realize. Okay. I can bounce the token, but I kind of want to just play the Skydiver and steal it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to play the land in case they have like what's it called? You know what I'm trying to say. Mana Tithe. Yeah, X1, don't steal that. Yeah. And probably just attack with this. Spirit, okay. Gideon, sure. You can give something indestructible or lifelink, probably lifelink, I would assume. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take 3. Next turn, we can just I'm going to fetch now, I think. Make sure I don't draw the land I want to fetch, which is the Savannah. Okay, so I can play Sword equipped on the Skydiver, attack them, they either champ block or take it and then we shoot that. I can also just cheat it into play, but that doesn't really accomplish anything. This is a 4/4, so killing that is pretty strong. I can just elk this and attack in the air for 2 here. Doesn't really do much. So we attack them with this equipped, they block. We have 2 blockers for this, and we are tapped out. No, that doesn't really work. I can play the Tithe Taker. I can play the Tithe Taker and the Oko. That way I can just elk like the Danto, for example, and trade with the Golem. I'm going to be playing this first in case they have some free interaction. I'm not sure what that would be, but wait. So they can't activate this now, for example, right? And abilities your opponents activate cost 1 more unless they are mana abilities. Yeah, so they can't actually sacrifice this now, which means we can bounce it and attack the Gideon with all. They champ block here. They end up only having a Danto in play, and we hit that for 3, but we still have to answer that. We can do that next turn too. Interesting. I'm going to go for Oko. And probably just Elk the Danto. Make sure they don't have any indestructible threats. And I think I'm going to offer the trade to attack the Gideon, because they can just give this indestructible and attack still. You can do the same with Adanto, right? Yeah. So next turn we have Sword equip and do things. Okay, they let that through. So that's good, because next turn Gideon is going to be at 4, so we can actually just kill it with Skydiver. I'm probably going to champ the Gideon, depending on how they attack. If they have Time Walk, we are kind of screwed. They are giving this indestructible probably. Lifelink, okay, weird. I wasn't really expecting that, I'll be honest. These all attack me. So I can block here, they can sacrifice the spirits. Yeah, I think that works. I'm blocking like this because I expecting them to sacrifice the spirits. Oh wow, they didn't. Interesting. So their Gideon is at 4, so we can kill it with Sword. Recruiter. Okay. What do they find? Wisp, okay. Okay, they can flavor Wisp something like the Splicer, for example. I would guess that's what they do. Maybe this Recruiter too? That's a nice combo. No, Displacer, makes sense. So we can actually bounce the token if we want to. Make the Wisp into an Elk. Yeah, and we still have enough mana to do other things. So I'm going to start by doing this. 1 mana, Vindicate, not too shabby. Then, yeah, I think I'm going to play the Sword, Elk here, attack with both. The Spirit's going to be at them, and the Skydiver at Gideon. With the Shock, I kill the Gideon. Then we end up with 1-1, 1-1, 2-1, and 3-3. We champ block the 3-3. We take 4. We still have an Oko, and we still have flyers with Sword. So I like that. We can also just use the Oko to trade something, but I don't really care about that. So yeah, let's make this into an Elk to make sure we kill the Gideon. Then we play a land. We equip the spirits. So we attack with this at them, this at Gideon. I think they can fizzle the trigger. For example, if we shoot this and they sacrifice it, we don't draw a card, so that's kind of relevant. Maybe later. Let's draw. Okay, that's not very useful right now. It's a great card, don't get me wrong, but not very useful. So they can hit us for 4. If they have a removal spell, they hit us for 7. So can they? Oh, they can activate this, right? Oh, yeah, I didn't actually take that into account. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Oh, freak. So we're dead. Oh my god, I'm such a loser. Oh wow. Yeah, I misplayed. I didn't realize they have that. My bad. Let's go to the next one. We should be in a good position. I'm thinking if anything changed. Not really. Just submit. Yeah, I'm going to play first. Yeah, we have removal. We have tracker, which is a good source of card advantage. And more importantly, we are on the play, which was different before. I'm going to play the island first, make them fear of Daze and Spell Pierce. They don't have that much fear, apparently. Now we can... Oh, that's actually a good draw, so we can play Tracker and then Fetch. Taker, okay. I'm actually thinking of trading here, because if I trade, I get a 1-1 that can trade with the Taker, so... Yeah, I like that. Okay. We can win the Tithe Taker. Make sure we are ahead. And that works better because I want to play this on 4. I don't want to play it now and make it die to removal, so... yes, I'm going to do that. It's kind of a shame, but... Wait, this also has overload now. I'm going to do this. And if they somehow make like a whiteboard and can just wins in like a couple of turns, we have the lands to cast it. Paladin gives that double strike. So, yeah. Yeah, that's annoying. So, let's see now what we can do. We go to 16. Swords. Huh. So we swords the Silverblade Paladin and attack. So I'm going to first draw a card, I guess. Let's see what we draw now. Colonnade, okay. And just Tundra is fine. I don't need to attack with the Spirit, but attacking for 4 is pretty great. So now we basically made our tracker draw 2 cards, and if they need to remove it, then it was like a Mold Drifter, so that's great. Gideon, okay, it's a bit annoying. They can give that Tithe Taker indestructible, but they can't really attack because we killed the Gideon, so not that great actually. Yeah, it's just okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. We take 2. Fourth. Okay. So I 4th end of turn. I play Colonnade 4th end of turn, then have Wings of London next turn. Yeah, that sounds great. I'm going to attack both at Gideon then. Okay, that was weird then. I don't get why they did that play, but yeah. I should have played the land first, now I think of it. Hero of Blade Hole, okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to just crack loose. That makes our tracker bigger. Oh, yeah, it costs one more. Oh, I really screwed that up, right? I should have Factor Fiction in my turn then. Yeah, I always forget about that. Yeah, whatever. So we can go for Stoneforge, play the sword. No, we can't do that. So we can wins both of these guys. Attack for 6. Have them on a 3-turn clock. Yeah, I think I like that. Winds of Abandon is pretty strong if you are playing like a tempo deck, because especially against aggro, like them having 7 lands, I don't think they're going to be able to use it so much. We have them on a 3-turn clock here, and we can even go for Stoneforge Sword Equip next turn, right? And that would be awesome. Okay, they cracked the clue. Spirits. Thalia, okay. That's a bit annoying. You can just crack loose then. Attack for a bunch. See what we find now. Yeah, Tracker has been amazing this game. We have so much cards in hand. It's pretty stupid. Wrath of God, not too bad. If they somehow kill our Tracker, I might be able to just Wrath. So they take 6. Nice. Yeah, I have Mana Drain plus Cracklu in my turn. I'm going to go for that. Kithian. Do I want to counter that? Nah, not really. I mean, they can champ block here forever, so maybe it was correct to do that. But let's see what they do now. Ravages? Yeah, hell no. They don't even attack with Thalia, that's kind of weird. So, can we remove all the threats? We can Council Judgment, Kithian, bounce Thalia. No, we can't. We can't kill them right now. We can play like Stoneforge. Sword Equip here is 3/3 attacks, deals 2. They have to champ. They have to champ these 2. So I think that should be good enough. And I can also just... No, I can't reveal because it costs one more for Thalia, but I can just attack. They need to jump this, otherwise I can just kill like Thalia or Kithian or whatever. So my guess is they champ block here with Thalia, here with Spirits. Or that's... What the hell is the block? That doesn't make a lot of sense. I can also just crack a clue. Yeah. And even if you do, it's like, whatever, I have 5 cards in hand, you know. So yeah, this was what I was expecting. They now sack the spirits, you Thali indestructible. Sure. And let's just pass. I have reveal now up. For Kithian only, but still, okay. That was easy. Let's go to the next one. Alrighty, game match number 2 against War Forger. Yep, recording right now. So, what do we have here? We have Chip Interaction, Teferi and Lyra, so this is a good control hand. I'm going to keep it. We might be able to win, but we might just face like Channel and just die, but what you gonna do? Red, it's a good sign. Mox is not a good sign. Oh, nothing else? Awesome. Oh no. This normally means like aggro, but I'm going to play the Arid Mesa because I want to fetch my Savannah. Just because I have like 5 lands already. So if they are playing aggro, they don't have a 2-drop. It's kind of weird, you know. 1-drop or 2-drop is what you want in aggro. So, wow. What hand did they keep? Yeah, I'm going to fetch now. Savannah. Citadel. Yeah, that's a card. I'm going to play Island. Yeah. If they want to use like a... Well, they aren't playing anything, so if they draw for turn a Stream Mine or Wasteland my Savannah, that's kind of fine by me. Next turn, I'm probably going to play the Ferry. I would guess they have like at least bolts or something in their hand. Otherwise, why would they keep that hand? Wall of Omens. Sure. Did they find a land? No, they did not find a land. And additionally, Thada is not unblockable. It only has Island Walk, so yeah. Let's play this, just Optic. Oh, they have Force. Interesting. So they are kind of just Sky Control or something. Yeah, okay. Still, 2 for 1 is a 2 for 1. And that means that Thada is going to be great. Okay, they don't have a land, apparently. Yeah, poor opponent didn't draw lands, but they keep a 2-lander on the play. I think they were on the play, right? Yeah, so I normally don't keep 2-landers on the play. Yeah, I'm going to play just 2 threats here. Interesting. Didn't realize it was an enchantment. I could have played the Soulful Spirit first to keep the Eidolon, but I think I prefer the Spirits. The Eidolon can really attack through a Wall of Omens. Banefire. Yeah. Okay, so they managed to remove all my creatures, but now I'm going to play Lyra Dawnbringer, and they already use like 2 different removal spells plus Force of Will, so they already use a lot of answers. Of note, I'm going to probably remove Lyra next turn. For the second and third game. Okay, they are going to double bolt. That's fine by me. How much removal can you have, right? That's just too many. Sure, now I'm going to play Thada on Stoneforge. So yeah, I'm going to play Thada. Find the sword, and yeah, I'm just going to pass. They find another land, which is great for them. Lavamancer is also good. They need to remove Thada, or we are going to be able to equip it and attack. I can steal the Mox too. So I think I'm going to go for sword. Make them counter it. No, okay. Thada here. Have more removal spells? Of course. Yeah, okay. This has Island Walk, so it's going to hit. We are able to look at their deck, which is actually pretty useful. Can I do a new snip? Oh, I wanted to keep the other one. Wait, if I paste it somewhere. What is this deck? This is nonsense. I'm going to steal probably the Mana Bolt and play it. Oh, this is taking too long. No, here no. Can I paste it here? I'm going to probably remove this. Come on. Oh, why does it take so long to open this? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that one. Wanted. Let's just close our windows. Close this. Yeah. So let's just take now the snip of their deck. Yeah. So they have like other force, bolts. Yeah, I don't really like their decks. It looks kind of wonky. Too many bolts. Probably a forest. Yeah. So let's check this. They have bolt, shadow skull, spears, stings. They shock Thada, makes sense. Just pass the turn. So they are representing force of negation. We can force back. Sadly, we don't have a removal for Grim Lavamancer, so it's going to eat all of our creatures. Minus Mountain. Okay. Judgment. Sure, so I'm going to attack. After they use the Lawmancer, I'm going to Council Judgment. Maybe I don't. Maybe they already took all the value they wanted from that. And I want to be able to remove like consecrated things. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So they have consecrated things, DAC, but they counter that. Identity, but they can counter that. Shadow Skull doesn't really win. Thundermaw, I can kill it. Chase Karn, I can counter. So yeah, I think we can run them out of threats. Counterspell is great. So yeah, right now we don't have Force and Counterspell, sadly. We should have fetched another blue. Mana creep, what? Why? You're going to die to that now. Yeah, I'm going to counter this. Use Force because we can now use Counterspell for creatures. And yeah, I'm going to play Motherland. Doesn't really make a lot of... doesn't really change that much. And they are going to lose to their own mana creep probably, unless they find... They have a way of flashbacking. They have one Stomping Ground. They can fetch with Starn for the Ancient Grudge. Because if they Ancient Grudge their mana crypt, then they don't die. I'm going to play my lands out. I think this is a good plan. If they find a way of flashing back Ancient Grudge, I can even counter that. They're going to die eventually. Mana Drain is also good. I think that's their only out, right? To that. Fracture Identity then can give me the Mana Crypt, which is kind of fun. Yeah, that's the only out to kill their own Mana Crypt is Ancient Grudge. So let's just hope they don't find the Stomping Ground. I don't want to counter the Ancient Grudge, but they might need to. I think that's my win condition right now. Island is actually a good draw. We have now 2 counter spells up. No, that's a misplay. They're going to kill my creature? Yeah. Okay. I don't think that's correct. Now they don't have an out to kill the Mana Crypt. Yeah. Blue for probably Gitaxian Pro. Yeah, look at my hand. So it's amazing. Good luck beating that. Yeah. That was great. Weird game. I think them playing the Mana Crypt there was wrong. Yeah, so they had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balls, Fracture Identity, Fast Mana. Yeah, I think we need to find a way of... Well, Disenchant may be useful. Frost Titan I like. Rebel Arc can also be good, a way of just returning creatures with power 2 or less. Let me check. 2, 2, 1, 2. So it gives us all of our creatures back, basically. and they don't have that much exile, so Rebel Arc is basically another Sun Titan. Right. It's a leave the battlefield, so even if they kill that with like, I don't know, identity or something, it's not bad. So yeah, they have 1 Mox, Mana Crypt, and Mana Bolt, so that's all, right? Yeah. So maybe Disenchant is good. Maybe Trigon Predator is even better. They have Lightning Bolt and Channel Lightning that kill it. And Smashing. Huh. I think all of this is reasonable. So we might go for a more bigger deck. They don't have that much counter magic. Yeah, I think I like that. Just going for a more controlling route. Lyra is not good against them. Well, wait a second. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I'm going to remove Pestermite, Eidolon. Condemn. I like Council Judgment because it can kill Planeswalkers too. Swords is way better than Condemn. And Tracker, Thada are good, even if they killed it. Yeah, Soft Spirit. So right now we have like all value creatures that even if they enter or die, they give us value. Thada, Adele, and Tracker that are just mini base layer angels that give us value, not just taxing effects or temp advantage. Oh, we ran out of time. Didn't even realize. No, it didn't really take my... No. That was pretty rough. I'm not going to even say that to them, but we had a good cyber plan, but we weren't able to use it. Okay, so we have a couple of bad cards against them, like Pestermite and all that. I don't really like them. And here they are. But we have Force. We can force Pitch Repeal. Depends on what they play. Soul Carnage. So they are going to go for a more aggro route. Makes sense. Yeah, let's just play Island. Pass. Have Force up. Do I force summon a rock? Fispia. No, I don't think I do. I think that's too aggressive. Just 2 for 1 in myself to trade with 1 and it's not that what I want. Oh, Swords. So I can hold like Counterspell Repeal Force, or I can hold Repeal Closures Force. I think I'm still at 16, so I'm going to keep open Counterspell. It's just 2 1-drops. I can bounce the Soulscar Mage, for example. That's a really good tempo play. If they play a non-creature spell that I don't care about counterspelling. Mana Bolt, for example. I think that's fine. I think I'm going to just bounce the Soulscar Mage now. Because I can tap that on their upkeep with Pestermite, and that's really annoying for them. I can also just untap my own planes to have swords up, but I don't really need to do that. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do that. Just Pestermite, have force up, probably pitch Oko. Let the trigger resolve. Now I play Pestermite. Tap this. Yes, this resolves. I'm going to tap Mana Bolt. Yeah, deals 1 damage. Nice. They probably have Bolt for it, but it don't really pay itself. If they pay a non-creature spell, I can just counter it. If they play like... what's this? Banefire on my Pestermite? Yeah, I mean, that's fine. No need to keep it alive, and they don't do anything else. I can do like swords. Yeah. So I like doing swords, holding up counterspell and force on their opponent's upkeep. I probably do it later on the turn. They are pressed to cast anything, and if they cast something, I can just kill the Swiftspear. They find no land. If they just attack for 1, I'm going to let that through and then kill the Soulscar Mage. Yeah, that's fine. 11 is fine. What's this? Dark Faden. You probably wanted to do that before. Did they have Mana Tithe? No. Okay, they have Spell Pierce, but they can't actually play it. I'm going to do this. If they have like Force of Will backup, that's fine. So now I can sort that and counterspell their other dude. Okay. Colonnade, it's a nice draw. So Pestermite was actually pretty good. It ended up being like a Curse of the Pierce Heart and a counterspell. Yeah, now they untap, but they lose like 2 or 3 life and 4 mana, so that's actually pretty good for me. Nice, they find the land for this mage. I'm going to counter it. And let me see, they have Hellkite, Jace, Karn, Fracture Identity, Consecrated Things. Yeah, I don't think that Judgment, their Mana Bolt, is a good play, but maybe turning it into an Elk is fine, right? But that leaves this at 5. Now I'm going to just play this and make a food. If they have a Fracture Identity, which is something they could very well have, I can just Council Judgment the Rocco. Just pray for them not transforming their Mox Pearl or Mana Bolt into an Elk. Maybe countering the Soulscar Mage was a bit too aggressive. I don't know. We'll find out. Wow, they're tapping the Mana Bolt. It's interesting. Apparently they have the Fracture Identity. Sure. That's rough. We can Council Judgment that, but they are probably going to transform the Mox Pearl into an Elk. I don't get why they tapped their Mana Bolt. Doesn't make sense in my opinion. They have maybe another thing to cast. Oh, they made a food. Awesome. Awesome. Now let's just hope they don't have Force up. Thieving Skydiver is also great. We can play both. I'm going to start Skydiver, steal their pearl. They have Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is only... Yeah, I don't think they can counter... I mean, I don't think I'm getting punished if I play this first, but if they have only a Force of Will, they might counter this. They do not. I'm going to take the Mox. You probably want to tap it, yeah. They have Bolt. What's this? Oh, disenchant, okay. Sure. That leaves me super happy. I can now do this. Remove the Oko. And now we have the advantage. If this Skydiver survives, we can just put a sword on it and start hitting them for a bunch. They're only untapping their mana vault, which is a good sign. Fourth is also good, but they are tapped out and I want to resolve this. I'm going to feign a counterspell, just because I can. Now it has protection from most of their deck. I don't think they can answer this by killing the Skydiver. They can actually just like... Yeah, I'm going to do 2 damage to you. They can kill the soul, for example, but it really cantrip, so... So I already played the swords and the constant judgment. Okay. So I'm going to start by attacking, then play the Eidolon. Okay, awesome. I was going to play the Eidolon and pass with Factor Fiction up. Just do it on the arc or whatever. So, GG's. Let's go to the next one. Oh, okay, we are playing in the finals against Johan. This hand, Johan, is not that great. We have 3 unplayables and sword, which I don't want to actually draw. So I'm going to mulligan. This hand is also pretty bad, but at least we have the tracker. We can play a plains on the bottom. And we can play the colonnade, and if we find a blue spell, we can a blue land, we can play mana drain. We go Force Go, which is a non-standard move, which probably means they are either green and they are going to channel us out right now. I mean green like combo, or they are like a green mid-range deck of sorts, or a slow green start. Probably this looks like a green mid-range. Okay, at least it's a playable card. This color combination makes me fear of land destruction. So I'm going to go with Savannah, hoping they go for that instead of the colonnade. Just find the sword, pass. So next turn we can go for hopefully draw an island, pass, and mana drain, or play the sword. That would be awesome. We have 4 mana. Let's see what they do. Skyclave operation, that's okay. Annoying, but I understand. So do I want to play the tracker for no value? Not really. Well, if it dies, I can still just reanimate it with Sun Titan later. Okay. Makes sense. And pass, okay. Pestermite. So, yeah, I think I want to play Pestermite on the attack step. Just to trade with that. How about free 2/2? Okay. I may have made a mistake. Probably it was better to just tap a land, but we didn't know about that, so yeah, I feel bad now, but I wanted to get a bit cute. Yeah, tap that. Yeah, I get tapped. Now I can trade here, get a free 2/2. Factor Fiction or Tracker. Probably just Tracker. Let me check what else do I have. I have like Winds of Abandon, which is a good way of removing all that. And yeah, that's probably it. Maybe Constant Judgment to just remove this and so the tokens are 1/1s instead. Now I'm going to go for the Tracker, play a land. And just pass the turn. I can offer the trade, but I prefer to just block the squirrels. I think I need to block them. They are a very big clock right now. They're probably going to tap out for this. So if I have a land next turn, I can go for hold up Mana Drain and then play like Sun Titan or something. I probably attack with all squirrels. We block one. If they don't attack, then I will be very scared because I don't know what that means. Wow, I don't know what that means, honestly. Winds of Abandon, that's great. So now I kind of want to factor fiction into lands. Yeah. Oh, only one land? That's awful. Awful. Maybe they don't know we are going to pick the land pile. Yep, I'm going to pick the lands. So, yeah, Condemn doesn't really look that great against them. Neither does Skydiver. But if we find another land, we can just Winds of Abandon them. Unless they go for something weird now, like an Armageddon. Okay. Now they start attacking with squirrels. Oh, yes, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, take 3. The Ferry can bounce a token. I think I will crack a clue. Hold up Mana Drain. Just want to play lands now. That's all I want. Yeah, thankfully. So now we have blockers for the squirrels. We also have Condemn, which they know about, but it can't be helped. They are floating pretty hard. Nice. So if I Winds of Abandon them, they will have infinite mana, but they already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? 3, 7, 8, 9. So maybe they have like an Eldrazi or something. Okay, Repeal is good. Prismatic Vista is also good. I'm going to play the Vista. Fetch a blue. You can play Titan. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. No, I can't. I can play Teferi and don't bounce anything. Can play 1 mana bounce a squirrel. I like that. Just let's see what we can draw. More lands. Nice. I think I will play the sword just to not discard it. Pass. Discard probably just an island. So next turn we can go for Winds of Abandon, then Mana Drain their play. Artifact or enchantment. So they can kill the sword if they want to, or they can make a 1/1. Yeah, no, I'm going to counter this. Nice. So we get 5 extra mana next turn. Okay. Nice. So I can start with the Fairy just to make sure they don't do anything funny. Bounce a token to give them 1 less land, basically. Then 4, 6, 7, 3, 4 more mana. Okay. Oh, okay. That was weird. Not so sure what they are doing, honestly, but Wrath of God looks pretty good here. I didn't see any targets for this enchant. Thragtusk neither, Trigon neither. So I'm going to just bring this in and remove like Sada. Polukranos looks good, but casting it is kind of difficult. Reveille Lark can be good, or Frost Titan. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Frost Titan and remove the Skydiver. Also, I want to remove creatures that don't really do much. And bring in like Wrath and expensive threat, so I can go like just Wrath your board, play a threat, and be done with that. So we have Oko, we have Wrath, we have Repeal, we have Sword, which isn't great, but whatever. Yeah, this can discuss. And we have 3 fetches, which is kind of funny. Our mana is pretty strong, actually. If I wanted to splash like a Polukranos, I would, but it's a bit too much, even for me, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start with the Mesa and fetch Tundra, I think. Just in case I want to play something to have more access to more different options later. Here I play Tithe Taker. I'm going to fetch in response, otherwise you lose your fetch, basically. I could also just waited until my turn, but I didn't, so there's that. Yes, I'm going to now play Vista, crack it for blue. And just hold reveal for x0 on their turn. Nothing more we can do, but that's fine. Then we can start playing Oko and just upticking, making food, then making it an elk, and just, yeah. Nisa is annoying, but not the end of the world. Fetch a basic force. Yep. Take 2. We still have the Wrath, so yeah, I'm going to play Oko. Fetch this Savannah. Make a food. This goes to 2, then I elk the food, and they have to champ attack. I can also just Wrath, then make the food an elk, depending on what they do. Okay, they attack for 4. Both are not Toko, that makes sense. Wouldn't like it any other way. So, yeah. Now I think I'm going to just... Please just play a creature. Oh, okay. I can also just play Tracker, make the food an elk. Now I have a 3/3 and a 2/2. Can also just bounce something like the Tithe Taker. This costs 3 mana, 4 on their turn. So I'm going to do it on their turn after they attack. So they have to champ attack to put Oko at 1. And when they do that, I can just bounce the Taker. Nixos, kind of weird. Polukranos, okay. Do they attack? Not even going to attack, okay. Yeah, then I'm not going to bounce. Just going to Wrath. This is when they play their 7th land, we have 5. Still going to do that, they don't have any way of countering this, I don't think. So I'm going to... Nah. Yeah, it's just going to Wrath of God. Sorry. So I'm going to Wrath of God. Then bounce the token. Then make a food. Just Oko them to death. Next turn we can go for 5 mana. We can Tracker plus Thicket. If we find an untapped land, we can Sun Titan a land back. That's a lovely elk you have there. I can also just bounce it with the Fairy, because why not? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to bounce it with the Fairy. Time Walk. I'm going to make this into an elk, start hitting them. If they find an answer to Oko, then I want to have at least some value. And I'm going to play the thicket that allows us to. Okay, that was the that was the thing. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to actually review my deck right now because I really like it. So I think I can see it here. Yeah. So okay. So after all, Thada was mostly a cyborg option. So I would, if I build this deck again, just bring something different. Maybe Thragtusk, Predator, Frost Titan, something different. Just something that does something. Thadel felt okay versus the deck that played islands and artifacts, but not otherwise. So I would absolutely change it. Then the rest of the cards were all good. Even Selfless Spirit didn't do much, but just having access to another cheap threat, like a 2-1 flyer is a 2-1 flyer, no? Disenchant would have been main deckable too, instead of Thada, for example. We still have like Thieving Skydiver and Disenchant, and then we have a good suite of Disenchant spells. And yeah, that was it. Interesting deck. Actually, I'm not so sure this is an archetype like that people play. I know I like to play blue and this color combination, Azorius Temple, because you get all these creatures like Stoneforge Mystic, Tide Taker, and maybe Thalia. Thalia is kind of bad in this archetype, but Flicker Wisp, cheap threats. You get the cheap removal spells in Swords, Council Judgment, Path to Exile. Winds of Abandon is great, it's amazing. I really like this card. So all of those you get also like good cyber options in Lyras and Rats and Disenchants, So you get very good stuff, and just the good blue tempo spells, like counter spells, just flyers that steal something, flyers that tap your creatures, card draw, repeals. You get all that, and since for some weird reason we also were able to just find good mana, we were able to just splash Oko and Tyrus Tracker with no problem, and they were both great. I really like them. Another option would have been to play like Sylvan Library over Factor Fiction, but we actually never cast Factor Fiction, I think only once, and the game was already won at that point, so whatever. So yeah, I think this archetype is pretty strong, but it's kind of difficult to that it comes together. Normally I end up backdooring into this when I'm on mono white, and then find like a time walk or a Fractured Identity or a Oko Arteferi or something like that. So you just go into that, or maybe even Ancestral Recall, just busted blue cards, but having counter spells and choose is just really strong deck idea. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.